Good morning and welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
And I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
And today we're joined by Mrs. Riesling. A big event. Chuck really loves this one, and it's getting ready to kick off another year. The Harder Than Hell bike race down in Dumas, Texas. Miss Riesling joins us this morning. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm just great. Thank you. And you?
Can't complain.
Yeah, and I can't complain. I got to get in shape for this one, no question about it. This year's ride is going to be the full century, and well, let's face it, anybody that's into cycling knows a full century equals 100 miles. But that's not to daunt anybody. You have a lot of routes to take from the beginners ride to
Right.
the more
we
seasoned
have
ride.
we have 5 routes for every level of cycling. We have a 12-mile route, a 33-mile route, a 50-mile route, a 67 and a 100-mile route.
Wow.
So we have something for everybody.
Let me ask you this, Miss Sue. How did this get started? How did this event start?
The YMCA, I was on the board of the YMCA. I still am, of course. But they asked me if I could come up with a fundraiser. And I had started cycling a few years back. And I thought, well, that might be a nice one. And I got with a friend and she taught me how to put it together. And we did.
Yep. It's grown into this.
we,
Yeah.
we had about 50 riders the first year, and they said for the first year, if you have 50 riders, that it would be successful. And so I believed it was, and so we continued, and it's grown ever since.
Some of the ride, even the 12-mile, from the beginning adult to the beginning younger rider, that takes in a whole lot of territory in Moore County, and in some cases it goes into two counties at least. And
Yes.
not to disdain anybody, but that's some pretty interesting scenery, and it can get to be pretty hilly. Tell me about some of the routes itself.
Well, the 12-mile is really calm because we do design it for families
Right.
and children, and some moms and dads take their infants on the infant carrier, which is
Right.
great. We love that. And then, but when you get up to the 67-mile ride, you have 1,900, almost 2,000 elevation gain.
Right.
And then on the 100, you have 3,619 feet of elevation gain. And that's quite challenging
Yeah.
for your experienced rider.
I'll tell you, to me, the way it sounds to me, that with that elevation gain, it sounds like that's the Tour de France of West Texas, to tell you the truth.
I think I think some of the riders think, well, it's high plains,
Right.
and it's not. It's hidden.
Yeah.
It's close to the lake, and that's where we take them.
Right.
It's Lake
Yeah.
Meredith.
Right.
Well, how can people sign up? How can they get their name in the hat? And does it cost them anything?
Yes, they can go to TXT, well, txttumbleweed100.com, and we have registration there, and it's $40 for 3 routes, the first 3 routes, and then it's $50 for your 67 and 100-mile route. So they can go to our website. Again, it's www.txtumblewed100.com, txttumbleweed100.com.
And it's not too late to get in, is it?
Absolutely not. It's always a director's nightmare that everybody signs up at the last minute.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
70 to 80% of our riders sign up within 2 weeks of the ride.
We joke about that. Amarillo is a great walk-up city. Nobody buys tickets in advance. They just show up
No,
to the show. That's
they
just so,
also watch the weather.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, yeah.
That's it.
And
When is this year's event? What day is it on?
September 16th. And we have free barbecue lunch for all the riders. And the night before, um, they can pick up their swag bags and their packets, and they get a free spaghetti dinner
Oh, cool.
if they choose. Um, and the dinner is hosted by our Dumas Rotary Club. And then breakfast the next morning is served free of charge. It is hosted by the Dumas Lions Club,
right.
Noon Club. So actually, for that price, they get 3 meals
Wow. That's
free.
not a bad
So,
deal.
and you can't beat that.
No, you
Well,
can't. You can't.
I can tell you up front, you got to load up on those carbohydrates first chance you get, and that dinner, that spaghetti dinner's out of this world, man. I'm telling you, it's out of sight.
It's very good. I do have to say, I have some pretty good people in my corner to help me.
Cook it up. Let me ask you this. You said you started this as a fundraiser back in the day for the YMCA. Who
Yes,
do
sir.
you raise funds for now?
The proceeds all go to the programs for the YMCA,
So still
and
back in
so
that.
it's still in place.
Good deal. Good deal.
So we love our riders, and last year we had our biggest ride yet. We had 175 riders.
Wow.
Right.
From all
Right.
over the world. You had
Yeah,
people from different
we
parts of
have
the countries and the
we
world.
have somebody coming from Tucson this year
Mhm.
that has signed up, and Oklahoma is represented as well as New Mexico. And we get further than that. We've had them come from lots of different places
Right.
around the states. So
Harder Than Hell, the
yeah.
2023 version. You could sign up now, and it's for a great cause, helping solidify those programs that help those young people and old people and everybody in the community. The YMCA,
Yes.
there's a ton of different stuff. Can almost become the hub of activity in a community, and they do a great job of that. Sign up still available. You can be a part of the Harder Than Hell coming up in September outside of Dumas. A great chance to go enjoy some scenery and ride your bike. Miss Sue, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Anytime, anytime. We'll put a link up on our website so people can go right to you and sign up if they want to be a part. If you don't ride, there's different levels. There's the serious professional level, and there's just people who just want to go out and have a good time with the kids. It's all there for you. The Harder Than Hell bike ride kicking off in September, brought to you by the great folks there in Dumas. Miss
And
Sue, have
it's
a great
rain or
day.
shine.
Got rain or
Oh,
shine.
yes, and bring your helmet.
That's it.
Yes.
Bring your helmet and probably plenty of water.
Yes.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's it. All right, Miss Sue, take care. Have a good day. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back to wrap up the Thursday edition of The Chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2.